that's been discussed that we see and everything. So we'll just hop right in it, though.
Let's
So
go. Let's get it, man.
I want to say not yesterday, but about 2 days ago, Will Levis, I think, had one of his worst days in camp, and it was a big deal kind of made out of it, right? And we know things happen. So from what you see, is Will Levis struggling? And if so, do you? Okay, let me ask you that like this: Do you think he's struggling from what you've seen, what you've heard? And if so, why? Give us an explanation of why do you think he's struggling, if you think so.
Jacques, that's a great question. So looking at camp right now, from the videos that I've seen, I've looked at it. We're not there physically to see it. At times we are. We haven't been there yet. I have seen some struggles with Will Levis. Is he struggling? Yes, from what I've seen, from what I've read. We only can go for what we see. And I see some struggles there. But I would say, is there any concerns? I think right now it's too early to judge right now. You know what I mean? This is a whole different, different coaches, different schemes, different players. It takes a while. Will Levis is just in his second year. So it's going to take time for quarterbacks to gel and those things. They don't even have full pads yet. But what I do like what Coach Callahan is saying about Will Levis as far as him getting better, what he needs to do to get better. That's coaching. It's not just throwing him out there and hoping he does well, right? He sees things. He's been advising as far as Will Levis, as far as his reads, the fact that at times Will Levis might, he might not throw it directly to where he needs, as far as pretty much trusting his receivers of where they need to be, right? Sort of holds on the football and then makes a late read at times that could be an interception, could be an incomplete pass. Receiver could have already ran the route. Will Levis throws it late. So those things Will Levis is going to have to work on, because normally Will Levis will just throw the ball, right? So I think he's just trying to learn to adapt the way that Brian Callahan wants it to work. I think Will Levis, again, with new receivers, are going to have to understand and say, hey, I just don't have D-Hop. I got Calvin Ridley. I got Tyler Boyd. I got other guys as well that I can throw the football to. And I got to trust my offensive line as well, too, because last year he got sacked so many times. He's probably very jittery back there, right? Probably nervous in a way. It's just kind of just kind of human nature of what he's had to deal with. So Callahan has been with Joe Burrow. He understands what a good quarterback is and what he needs. And I think he's trying to coach Will Levis to that. Will Levis has the ability. He's got to put it all together. And my concern, not yet, it's very early, but Will Levis will have to learn and pick it up and get better as days go on. So that's kind of what I see right now. What about for you, Jacques?
Well said. Facts, no paper, Hawk. Again, like you said, it's a new scheme. He's actually getting coached up. Not saying the last coaching regime didn't coach him up, but it's everything is new. So with everything being new, only familiar receivers. Just a couple of familiar receivers that he has, but he has Burks and D Hop. But he didn't really throw to Burks like that. Burks was hurt most of the year, and his safety blanket is D Hop. When you have a safety blanket like D Hop, everything looks pretty good, right? That's what happened last year. But now you're learning how to play the position all around, right? You just can't rely on your big arm that you have. And that's what Callahan is coaching. He's like, hey, you got a big arm. That's cool. But what else? You got to learn how to read the field, get it out a little bit, make better decisions, get it out a little bit more quicker. Don't hold on to the ball this long. Do this versus this. So you'll rather for him to, kind of sounds weird, but to make mistakes in training camp and mini camp and preseason and get it out early. And then that way, when it comes into the season, he's going to be straight. Now, you are playing a decent defense, a decent secondary. Like, you got to take that into equation too. He's not throwing to the third or fourth stringers anymore. Remember, in training camp, he was throwing to the third and fourth stringers. Now you starting quarterback. You're going against the starting defense. So I have a feeling that when it comes down to actual training camp and Snead gets in there, or Wuze gets in there, when they get to going 7-on-7, you're gonna start hearing a little bit more. Hey, passes deflected here, interception from Snead. But it makes you better because you're going against arguably the number one corner in the league last year, which they still don't give us credit for. This is what gets on my nerves sometimes. But we have the number one corner. We have two decent, good corners, right? Number one, 1A, 1B. And then you got Roger McQuarrie, who's out there is playing solid defense. So, again, this is what I expected. I expected this coming into mini camp, training camp. This is what I'm expecting. I'm expecting to see mistakes. I'm expecting to see because he's still learning the position. He's learned the position, but he's learning the position. He's learning. And you have a different set of eyes on you now to where they're saying, okay, hey, you can do this a little better, you can do this better, you can do that better, you can do that better. And it's good for him to grow as a pro. You need criticism. We gave you praise last year, but this year we really need you to step up. We really need you to do what you need to do. So iron sharpens iron. I'm not concerned. This is what I expected. This is what I expected